What is up? What is up? What is up? We are back again.
It's up, then it's up, then it's up, then it's up.
My brother Zach here. You already know who it is. Badake like cake, they like to call me. Let us know if you
But
can
they
hear us.
like
Hear us all good in the
cake.
chat. We will make sure we're on all cylinders. Okay, that everyone can hear me and Zach.
Yep. I'm trying to
Um,
figure out if my angle's all good.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
trying a little front forward here today.
Yeah. Let us know if you can hear us in the chat.
We're gonna do a live PPR mock draft, which is awesome.
Right. All right. So quickly for everyone who's watching this video, if it's live, if you're watching, if it's after this live stream ends, if you want to join us in these live community mock drafts where you mock with us and all of our followers, super easy. There's a link in our bio in the description of this video, solo.to/fantasylandfootball. Join our Discord. That's where we send all of the links to actually be a part of these. So if you join our Discord there, you'll be able to pretty much be notified every time we do a mock draft, and it's first come first serve. This actually filled up relatively quickly, which was surprising. Like a lot of people were keen to do this mock draft. We didn't even tell people about it, so nice little surprise.
Yeah, and
Um,
that's what we need.
so this is a 12-man PPR mock draft, okay? Pretty standard. There's no super flex. It's a one quarterback, one flex. We're not drafting defenses because that's boring. But let's go ahead and randomize. So
Give me a second. Let me just switch it over really fast. All right, here we go. That's it right there. Yeah, what we like to do is get everyone in and then we randomize it. It just gives it a little bit more of, you're not planning to, all right, I have the 1-8 and you're kind of planning. So we want to kind of we want to throw you off and then kind of give you the opportunity to learn because, when you get thrown off, those are the real moments in a draft,
yeah,
you know?
someone just commented, "What's up, Serini?" I think you might have joined us on our last mock draft. He said, "Are y'all going to do another one tomorrow?" Maybe. We'll see if there's enough people who want to do it. Then maybe we will. All right, we're gonna go ahead and randomize the order. The order's been randomized,
You kidding?
and
I stayed,
Badaki got the first one. I got 12.
but
What the
I
hell,
was
bro?
already on the one-on-one.
You were? Well, that sucks. Why did you get the 1.1? I got 12. Whatever. It is what it is.
Nolan Brown,
Nolan
Brownie.
says he's
Hey.
Brownie 19. So me and Nolan are going to be drafting right beside each other. That will be fun. All right. Well, let's go ahead and start this mock draft.
Okay. Oh man, I mean, as always, there's no question about it. CMC off the board. There's no hesitation. Let's get it right out the way. Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Yes. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. He's confident. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, no.
Yeah.
So is it always Dalvin Cook here? What do you reckon?
Some depending. This is PPR. I mean, it looks like Dalvin obviously just went off the board, but it's always back and forth. Alvin and Dalvin is back and forth, back and forth. So it really depends on what you prefer, who you prefer, if you like the opportunity. Some people think Alvin is going to be fallen in drafts just purely because Drew Brees is no longer there.
You know what's weird is me and Padaki were in a Yahoo draft yesterday. We joined Yahoo because Yahoo's the only one who's doing live mock drafts other than like us putting them on and stuff.
Yeah.
And Alvin Kamara is falling to like 1.7 in Yahoo mock drafts. They have him so low. I don't see how I'm taking that many people above him.
I think Yahoo's a little bit different though as well because it's hard to kind of really gauge what Yahoo is doing if it's like a dynasty mock draft or standard PPR mock draft. Tommy went Devontae Adams there. Wow, that's interesting. Tommy, let us know what your game plan is here, or maybe at the end, let us know what your game plan is here.
Well, no, I'm curious. Like, let us know what's the thought process there because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is gonna be back, bro.
Like, unless
he's obviously operating under the assumption that Aaron Rodgers is back. By the way, we got Kevin Chang joining us again. He is visionary, saying in the chat. He says he's about to walk away as a winner again. Yeah, you had a great mock draft last time. That was the visionary, who is Kevin. Let us know why you chose the name the visionary. That's interesting. Maybe I should change my name up, be a little more creative.
Yeah, something like that.
So we got Trey Burr in the actual chat. if you want to put the chat on the screen so people can see it in case some
I
people
mean,
don't make it
we
into the live
can.
stream.
I'm just my face is there, so that's the
No, it's
problem.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it'll roll up, but someone's questioning Devontae at 4,
yeah. That's
which
Trey
isn't
there.
fair. I want Tommy to explain yourself. Um, okay, Derrick Henry is at the 1.5. I mean, I feel like those 4 running backs. I feel like it will go 1 to 5 running backs at least. Right. And I just feel like Derrick Henry and Saquon are the ones that are um like a little bit unknown.
Right.
Someone's putting some explicits in the chat just to get on the live stream.
I love it. Do something crazy. That's what we like. That's what we like to do here. Jonathan
Okay, so
Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor goes at the 1.6. Not a surprise.
Let me ask you a question.
Except for Saquon's up there, so maybe it is a surprise.
Let me ask you a question because this is what's happening. Are you taking Saquon or Jonathan Taylor?
I'm taking Saquon.
You
I just
know,
think he's a more talented running back.
I'm just not
So
excited about Jonathan Taylor this year. I know a lot of people
I'm excited about him, but not as high how English is hard.
today. Yes.
How high he's going doesn't excite me, right? If
Right.
I could get him like at the 111, 112, then I'm cheering. Like 110.
Yeah, I think for me, there's a lot of factors that plays into Jonathan Taylor. Obviously, his performance last year, he finished as a top 8 running back last year. He had a
Yeah.
good nice stretch towards the end of the season. But yeah, Naeem Hines and Jordan Wilkins was in the mix a little bit. But Marlon Mack is back. I'm not saying that he's going to come and take significant touches, but I think he will be taking, some of those goal line touches because he is the bigger
Yeah.
back and he's going to be
Ooh.
yeah.
All right, it happened.
Yeah, just taken away there. So Travis Kelce at the 111. As you make your pick, I'm going to kind of talk through Jonathan Taylor 1.6, Nick Chubb 1.7, Saquon Barkley at the 1.8, Zeke at the 1.9, Tyreek 1.10, Travis Kelce at the 1.11, Zach here on the turn at the 1.12. Best available, I'll tell you in running backs, unless Austin Eckler, Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon according to Sleeper here.
Yeah. I think we had this conversation. I think we had this conversation yesterday when we were doing a Yahoo mock draft together. It's
Yeah.
like I feel very strongly that you have to go at least 2 running backs this year, like back to back, and with your first 2 picks because running backs get so weak.
Yeah.
And this is gonna surprise people, but when I think about Aaron Jones, I'm tying him to Aaron Rodgers, and I don't think Aaron Rodgers is gonna be back. So that means I'm actually drafting Cam Akers because Cam Akers is higher in my rankings. So I'm starting Eckler and Akers, and that's kind of like a risky way to start. It kind of reminds me of like, could one of these guys be the Kenyon Drake, of last year, where we're drafting them? You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
it's a little scary, but
Look, to kind of build off of that, it's interesting because you're right. It does get you have to. It seems like this year, especially in PPR, you have to go running back heavy this year because it does get really slim. And I was telling Zach yesterday, that I feel like in the first 3 rounds, I have to go running back and get that value early, even if it's maybe potentially reaching for someone like someone reaching for their ADP, because I need that value later on down the road, just so I can be safe and feel secure, because look, all these running backs are going really.
yeah.
Top running backs right now is
Well,
Antonio Gibson, Joe Mixon, and DeAndre Swift. I mean, we can talk
yeah.
about Miles Sanders and Clyde, but we're not. I can tell you that I'm not really excited about those guys, and I'm not excited about starting them confidently every week. But some people,
Quickly talk about Team 11 here because Nolan's asking. He is Team 11. He said, "Are my picks good at 11?" I think your picks are great. I think you're gonna have to kind of determine at the 11 spot, is Kelsey gonna be back on the turn or not? I personally feel like I would have considered Kelsey there. He's the only non-running back I would have considered at the 12. So you locked him up. And again, Aaron Jones, there's just question marks because of obviously Aaron Rodgers.
yeah.
Excuse me. We don't know if Rodgers is going to be back. If Rodgers is back, then I should have taken Jones instead of Akers. But we just don't know what's going to happen there. So I like the picks. You are leaning a little bit on the risk with Jones, but I mean, you can't go wrong with Kelsey. Like I've said all year, Kelsey is the biggest X factor.
Yes, it is Dynasty. So I
It's
mean,
not
it's
Dynasty.
not
This is not
Dynasty. It's
Dynasty.
PPR. So we were going to do a
By the way,
Dynasty.
we have 8 people watching on YouTube. Shout out to you. If you could do us a favor and just drop the like, we're gonna keep talking about this mock draft together with you. But if you can drop a like, that would mean a lot to this video to help the brand out. All right, so we have a run of players. Diggs. So obviously the 110 Will Loading is doing a wide receiver heavy strategy, and this is something that we're gonna have to monitor because it could really bite him in the ass with the running backs that are going to be available next. You know, like I'm really
Yeah.
curious to see what running backs are going to be available next. Who's going to be his starting RB1 and 2? But I'm interested to see the strategy. I love that he's trying something in a mock. Joe Mixon, we're both rising on Joe Mixon in our rankings.
Mm-hmm.
Patty Mahomes goes in the middle of the second, so it's Barkley, Patty. I'm not a big believer in taking a quarterback in the second, but what do you think about it?
I mean, in Dynasty, I mean, for PPR, no, I did do that strat last year where I got Patrick Mahomes at the turn. I had the 102, so I got him at the 302, and I did, kind of stretch it that way. But it really depends if he can find value in a running back later or get those late wide receivers, and for sure it could pay off. It paid off for me last year,
Yeah.
but it was around later. So
Yeah.
I mean, it could be earlier. It all depends. Shout out to Joe.
Yeah, it's just so hard. Yeah, shout out to Joe. He's watching from church. Shout out to you. Okay, Sanders went at the 2-6. We would, I think, consensus say we would rather have Gibson and Dobbins over Sanders.
Yeah.
Are we on the same page there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Sanders is probably, if I had to break it down in tiers, he's probably the first running back
Tier 3.
in tier 3. Correct.
Yeah,
So
I love it.
And this is where I go back to back running backs here, and there's no doubt about it. In my personal opinion, I took Najee Harris at the 1-8. Obviously, I have two.
Wow, how is Najee still available?
Yeah, and I have 2 picks back to back. So obviously, I can take Najee, and then I can take. Now this is where it gets interesting. Monty, Josh Jacobs, Chris Carson. You think about the opportunity. You think about each and every one's offensive line. So far, the Seahawks hasn't really improved that offensive line. A huge struggle last year. Chris Carson struggled. Josh Jacobs, Alex Leatherwood in the first. Kind of hard to say, wow, he's going to make a massive impact. And then Monty. Monty finished 4th. Josh Jacobs fell last year. This is really hard for me. And I'm more leaning towards Josh Jacobs nowadays. Why? Just because I do potentially believe that Kenny and Drake could be a smoke screen, and I feel like I have the opportunity to get Kenny and Drake later on in the rounds if he doesn't get snatched. So I'm gonna go Josh Jacobs here.
Okay. I quickly want to address a couple comments in the chat. Kevin, who's drafting as the visionary with us, said, chose my name as Fantasy Visionary and motto as the third eye of fantasy sports on IG just because I wanted a catchy name and slogan. That's funny.
That's what's up.
Nolan just subscribed. That's what's up. We got 10 people watching. If you didn't subscribe yet, go ahead and drop that subscribe. It would mean a lot to us.
Please.
We got 9 people watching, so someone just fell off. But if we could all drop a like, let's at least get to 9 likes. 9 people, 9 likes. Drop a like in 3, 2, 1. Let's just see what we can do. Might do something special today, as Badaki always says. Let's do something special.
Yeah, let's do something special. Let's change the atmosphere here. There's another live PPR mock draft. We're just really excited. We can't wait for the season.
Okay,
Huge love.
So at the 1-1 and the 1-2, both of you guys went 3 running backs heavy.
Right.
Man, I really wish I could start the way you started your draft with McCaffrey, Harris, and Jacobs. I mean, I love Eckler and Akers, but I'm not sure that either of them will finish higher than Harris. There's no guarantee there. So
yeah, so I think that's why it's hard. And for example, when it comes to you, we'll talk about it, but if people are going to go with this strategy, by the time it gets to the 3rd round and after the 310, you're not going to have any running backs to draft with confidence.
Yeah, totally. There's a couple names I'm hoping fall to me at the turn, but we'll see.
Huge love, Joe. Love that Joe's in the chat.
Sheesh.
Man.
Yeah, shout out to Joe in the chat.
If you love video games, go to So Good Mate on Twitch. I mean,
yeah,
he
does
does
killing
that
it
stuff
over there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Love our friends supporting our friends. All right, so Montgomery goes, and let's see if Will Loading's going to continue to do this no running back strategy. It's going to get real weak real quick.
Yeah. But look, there's still. I'm not gonna say names because I did that last time, and
Yeah, you screwed me
I
over.
screwed you over, so I won't say anything. But there are a couple names that I think you could potentially grab. I see one, two, three, four guys, five guys, maybe. I'm
This
not.
is hard, man, because like there's names that I see at the running back position, but look at all the wide receivers on the board now. Like I want to go 3 running backs in all my PPRs,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if at the 112 I can do that. Like, look at all the wide receivers that are there.
Yeah, I
Sheesh, this
mean,
is gonna be difficult.
well, what's good about this is that you have two back to back, so you can go a running back and then a receiver,
Yeah, I
depending
know, I
on
know.
I mean, I know the receiver that you probably want, and
Yes,
he's
okay.
there. So
You fell to me.
I mean,
So, how do I not go 2 wide receivers here though? Because like how could I take Gaskin this high? I don't think I could. Like that would be the next running back off the board for me.
would
I
you
don't want to take Robinson this high.
how do you feel about Kareem though? Even though, do you expect his work his
I just
workload?
can't take any of these guys that high.
Right,
I mean Kareem's good, but his ceiling is this pick. I'm not drafting him with a bunch of upside here in the fourth. In the
right,
third, it's completely drafting him at his ceiling.
right.
I gotta go Keenan. Let me just check my rankings. Who's my next wide receiver after Keenan? Is Allen Robinson still there? Did he
Allen
got taken?
Robinson got taken before.
Um,
I'll tell you,
Based off my rankings, I gotta go Julio.
yeah.
Even though Terry's my guy. I'm sorry, Terry.
So you're going two running backs, two wide receivers. This is a good
Yeah.
strat. This is a good strat because that gives the people the opportunity to see both strats happening live. So I went to three running backs strong in the first, and Zach just went two running backs, two wide receivers, and
Yeah.
hopefully some sort of value falls to him.
I know. I just can't, I just couldn't go Gaskin when I don't think he's going to be a workhorse back there. Like I feel like Malcolm Brown is going to, or if even someone else comes in, like would it surprise you if Todd Gurley just signs with the Dolphins in the next like month? Like
Uh,
would that really surprise anyone?
and that would just be really dumb, in my opinion. But that's the thing. This is my thought process with Miles Gaskin, with a Melvin Gordon, with Ronald Jones. I'm hoping that I can get their handcuffs in the later rounds. So obviously Miles
Yeah.
Gaskin, yeah, maybe I'm gonna have to waste a draft pick and pick up Malcolm Brown just in case. Maybe same thing with Chase Edmonds. Maybe I can get a Kenyon Drake. But it's really hard to say what's really gonna happen in this draft.
We got Brownie asking some questions. He wants to know about his latest picks. So Allen Robinson and Gaskin. Um, yeah, Allen Robinson. I would have taken him at the 12 if you didn't take him there on the turn. So I would have taken Keenan and Allen. So the Allen Robinson pick, you can't go wrong. I mean, Andy Dalton might be there, but if Justin Fields is there, regardless, he's going to get like 150 targets. He's going to get at least 100 catches every year. He's reliable, and
Yeah, and I think,
you can't go wrong. Like he's a guy who could finish like top 5 every week.
and that's the
Not that he
thing.
will, but he could.
And my thought process is that with Allen Robinson, no matter who's throwing the ball to him, he's succeeding every time. He's doing something special. He's always getting the game plan is always through Allen Robinson. So
Yeah.
whether it's
How
with
about Miles Gaskin though? Quickly, just let's talk about the rest of these picks.
yeah,
But is what Miles Gaskin would have been the next running back, right? But it's like, is it too early? I don't
I
know.
mean, we're probably gonna have to make it too early. Like it's gonna have
Yeah.
to be okay. I need a running back. It has to be Miles Gaskin, and I am taking him too early. So
Yeah.
am I excited about Miles Gaskin? No, not really. But I think in where he picked him, I don't think it's terrible.
Yeah. Someone just commented, "What's up, Lobby? Thanks for joining the live." He said, "Pick 10. Going no running backs is crazy, but there are a few names who can go in later rounds with huge upside, so I don't hate it." Yeah, totally. I don't hate it yet. I just want to see how it pans out, right?
Hmm.
We haven't seen many people do wide receiver heavy drafts, so I'm super curious to see how this is going to pan out at the end. What running backs will be his RB1 and 2? Because you might find yourself in a position with some of these rookies where you're like, they're my running back one, but I don't know what their workload looks like. So yeah, I agree. It's going to be interesting to see. Okay, so Kareem Hunt goes. I like that Josh Allen went in the fourth. I feel like that's a safe place to take Allen. Kareem Hunt, Terry McLaurin, Thielen, Godwin, and Cooper. Interesting here that Thielen went above Chris Godwin, Amari Cooper, and CeeDee Lamb. I'll have to check my rankings, but I think I have him below all three of those players.
Yeah, I have him below
Um,
all three of those players as well. So I don't know.
so yeah, I do have him below all three. So that's interesting to see Thielen go so high there. But okay, so Herbert is the third quarterback off the board in the fourth round. Justin Herbert.
Yeah, look, my feelings about Kyler Murray. Am I excited to get Kyler Murray? No, I think he's a good quarterback, but I'm not.
But he's got the dual threat upside, man.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know. I can tell you how I'm feeling. I can't give you any statisticals of why I don't like him. I just know that I think I just rather have Justin Herbert over Kyler Murray. I probably had to draft a mission statement of why he's not that guy for me. But I can tell you right now,
I just don't doubt there. Who over Kyler Murray?
Justin.
Did you say Dak?
No, I said Justin.
Did you say Dak?
I said Justin Herbert.
Oh, okay. All right. So DJ Moore just went. Super interesting that Moore went that high because, again, like there's wide receivers on the board I have ranked ahead of him. So
yeah.
But some people, this is the issue as you make your pick. DJ Moore has been in the conversation of breakout in fantasy for the past 2 years straight, and it's just not happened. No. So I don't know that Sam Darnold coming in is the answer. But all right, so you now draft your first wide receiver, Robert Woods.
Yeah, so I'm just going here according to my rankings, and Robert Woods is the best available receiver next. And then the best available receiver right after Robert Woods is Kenny G, according to my rankings. So I'm going to go 3 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and see what happens. Look, I like my team as so far.
Yeah, I wish I had.
I think
smacked my mic into a different dimension.
You did that twice now.
Yeah, I like your team a lot so far.
So, yeah, interesting. I mean, obviously we all know the feelings about Kenny G, and if Daniel Jones can make him fantasy relevant, Robert Woods, he gets a better quarterback. He's upgraded. He's always been part of that offense. I mean, there's no doubt about it that Woods is gonna give you points.
Yeah, definitely. Nolan, we did talk about your picks, but if you missed it, in short, Allen Robinson, you can't miss. Gaskin is the only question there. That's the same question I was going through at the 12. I just don't know if Gaskin is worth that high of a draft pick. So it's hard, man. We're gonna see how we're gonna have to see how his ADP lines up towards the beginning of the year. And we've got 7 people watching. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Appreciate you. If you could drop a like, that would mean a lot to us. Little things that you can do to support the brand. Subscribe if you're not subscribed.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray is now the 4th quarterback off the board, and he goes in the 5th round. Any surprise there that he went that late?
I mean,
or is that too early? I mean, I guess it depends on your perspective, right?
It all depends on the perspective. I think this is where round 4, 3, 4, 5, you'll see some quarterbacks go. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, I believe, will go in the first 2 rounds. And then 3 to 5, you will see Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, all those guys starting to fill up in these rosters.
Okay, hold on. I know we're talking serious, but Ronald Jones just went in the 5th round.
He has Tommy has a vision, man. Tommy has a vision. I don't know what it is.
He's got the vision that we can't see the vision, but he's got it.
He's got something.
Tommy, you got a vision. We can't see it, bro, but you got it. I'll be honest, Tommy, it's too high for Ronald Jones there. I would have definitely rather taken James Robinson, even though there's uncertainty. Yeah, I don't know. I love that Mike Evans fell to the 5th because I feel like that could look at the way Paulie D started his draft, bro. Team 3. Kamara, Edwards, Kittle, Lamb, Evans. That's a really good team. That's a really good start to your draft. I really, really like the way he started there. Okay, Brandon Ayuk just went in the 5th round, Badaki.
I think.
We have him pretty high in our rankings, but I don't think either of us had him that high.
Look, I have him wide receiver 25. So
Same, actually.
Cooper Cup is still on the board above him. Tyler Lockett is my 24. Those are the only two guys that are above him, in my opinion. So it makes sense.
Well, he just went off the board as a wide receiver 20, though. So if he's your wide receiver 25, then it is high, though, for both of
So
us.
let me just double check.
Uh,
Who's missing here then? Just Cooper.
Ayuk and, well, Cooper Cup's on the board. Deontay, you might have some of these guys ahead of him.
Oh, yeah, I do have Deontay.
I keep seeing T.J. Hawkinson in the 5th round, almost everywhere. You drafted him there yesterday in a different mock.
Yeah.
What's the reasoning?
Thought process is Jared Goff is a good quarterback. I mean, let me rephrase that. He's a decent quarterback. He's not Matthew Stafford, but we've seen success with Jared Goff and a tight end. I think T.J. Hawkinson is going to be the number one guy. No one there is going to produce besides T.J. Hawkinson, Swift, in my opinion, St. Brown. I'm not going to say his first name because I always butcher it. So
Amon Ra.
Amon Ra. So
Ooh, Connor in the 5th. Wow.
that's his first running back. So that's how.
This is what I'm saying, dude. I don't know how you can rely on James Conner as your RB1.
Well, he took
Oof.
James Conner over Chase Edmonds. Is that with the thought process of him getting those goal line touches and getting the touchdowns? Because it's interesting.
Yeah. Man, I just don't see Connor there in the 5th round. I don't see the value personally.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at the people available in my rankings.
Yeah, Cooper Cup just went to 5'11" as you do that. I mean, yeah, you have 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. My thought process is maybe you get value in a running back, one of these late guys that you can find value in now, or another wide receiver, or you can fill in your tight end position.
No, I know what I'm gonna do. So
Okay.
I've had this strategy pretty much since I don't know when it's been, but my strategy from round 6 to 9 is just purely based off upside. Draft purely based upside. So I'm gonna get Mike Davis because I don't know that he goes the entire season as a workhorse there, but as my 3rd running back, I'm comfortable. Because that's where literally, like, look, an entire round went, and I said, I don't know if I could get Gaskins. But at the same time, like, Davis could finish ahead of him. That was who I was hoping to potentially fall that far.
Correct.
And now I'm going purely upside for the next 4 rounds. That's why I'm drafting Kyle Pitts there in the 6th round. I would have waited. I didn't think he'd come back to me. Pitts is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tight end off the board. He is my tight end 5. So again, round 6 to 9, I'm going purely drafting based off of upside at that point.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Are you not in love with, because I keep going back and forth in my rankings, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
And Kyle Pitts, he's jumping from 5 to 8, 7, 6. And the people that are kind of beating him out sometimes is Noah Fant and Miles Gesicki. Those are the 2 guys that I keep. I think Tua is going to have a better second year. And I think there's going to be opportunities for him, Miles Gesicki and Tua, to kind of connect. So I'm kind of hesitant on who to pick there. And Noah Fant, he's coming back. Obviously, he dealt with that injury bug. But I think he was always an upside player, even with Drew Luck. And now
that's
with
not
Teddy
the
B.
issue there. Drew Lock and Teddy B are the issue there.
Yeah.
So I still like I feel like I will draft a lot of rookies in this year's PPR drafts because I genuinely believe this is one of the best offensive heavy NFL drafts of the last couple decades. I really feel like it's super strong all around. Let's talk about some picks quickly. Cooper Kupp at the 5'11", Dak Prescott at the 6'2". Getting Dak in the 6th round is really good value. So I love that. You can't go wrong with Kupp, especially with the arrival of Matthew Stafford. So they're both really safe picks there. Will Loading with the 0 RB strategy just took Edmonds after he drafted Connor before. So
there's a strat there.
I don't know what the plan is. I'm not sure what the plan is here, bro. Are you gonna start? These are your running backs 1 and 2, and they play on the same team, and we don't think either of them are gonna have a big workload. So
I mean,
I don't know.
there's still some potential sleeper value in these later rounds. I see
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4 potentially running backs that could have a maybe not a start in week 1, but maybe Will Loading is loading up on loading up on
yeah.
talent that's going to have
I
him
don't
win
know,
in the
man.
playoffs.
I don't know. Lamar in the sixth, that's crazy, guys. Lamar was going in the first round last year, and I still think that Lamar could finish as a top 4 quarterback. So for him to be as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quarterback off the board, that's great value. DJ Chark, we keep seeing in the sixth, seventh to eighth round. I don't love it, but I don't know. Like, I'm just not on board with that high of an ADP just yet.
Where do you have Chark
ETN.
in your rankings? Out of
Where
curiosity.
do I have Chark? It's probably really disrespectful. Like how far down I have Chark. Let me have a look.
I have him wide receiver 38.
Jeez, that is pretty disrespectful. But I have
That's pretty
I have him as my wide receiver 43. That needs to change.
okay. So it's not that
Yeah,
bad.
he's my wide receiver 43. So yikes. I mean, we're not on board with the Chark train. Obviously, we keep seeing people on board with it.
No.
ETN is the second rookie running back off the board there in the sixth round. I don't hate the pick. Lots of upside. Kind of where we saw David Montgomery went last year. Antonio Gibson went last year. There was a more clear role defined, but I don't hate it. Rogers, Lockett, Henry, Deontay, Judy. You just took Russell Wilson. I want to quickly talk about the Hunter Henry pick. In the sixth round, we're taking Hunter Henry, Badaki.
Uh, there's a theory.
That's too high, bro.
Oh man, see, this is where I get confused. T. Higgins, Cortland Sutton, or Jamar Chase here. Is Chase still on the board? I'm not a huge fan of T. Higgins. You know how I feel about him. Cortland Sutton. But where's Chase? I'm not seeing Jamar Chase. I see him here. I'm gonna go Jamar Chase here.
Okay.
He is higher in my rankings than Cortland Sutton, so I'm gonna go Jamar Chase. I get another receiver. I have 3 running backs, my 3 receivers, and my quarterback. So I'm happy with this because if Jamar Chase does kind of fall, I think this is where I'm happy taking Jamar Chase at the seventh round.
Yeah, I was hoping he would come back around.
Let me
So
just double check my rankings. See what
you suck, Ash.
Sorry, bro.
It is what it is. Hey, we got 11 people watching on YouTube. Shout out to you. Thanks for joining us live. We do these mock drafts all the time. In our description, there's a link, solo.to/fantasylandfootball. If you want to be a part of these live community mock drafts, just join our Discord. That's where we send all the links, so you'll always be notified, and you can mock with us and all of our followers here.
I just want to
Appreciate you guys for watching. If you could drop a like
Yeah.
on this video, that would mean a bunch to us, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Javonte Williams went at the 7-2. Another guy I was hoping would potentially fall to me. I didn't have high hopes of it, but this is what happens when you're drafting on the edges, like on either turn. There's it almost never falls the way you want it to, like certain players, which that's why I don't like drafting exactly on each turn because it's hard to say, oh, I'll see if that guy comes around. It's literally 24 picks later, you know?
Yeah, so it definitely does make sense. Javonte Williams gets taken ahead of Melvin Gordon with the anticipation of him getting more of a workload later on in the year. There's people that believe that in the first, 4 or 5 games, we won't see him until Melvin kind of falls off the board. He's not that guy. It's clear he's not that guy for them. So it kind of goes.
I'll be honest, though.
say.
I don't like I said this on the podcast. I don't think Melvin Gordon's a good running back anymore.
Yeah.
He's not got the burst. He's not got the speed that he used to have. He doesn't hit like holes with the passion that he used to in LA. And I'm just not a fan of Melvin. I'm completely avoiding him. If I can get Javonte at the end of the 7th, early 8th, then I'm smashing that every time. So
Yeah.
Let's quickly talk about the next run of players. David Johnson in the 7th,
Mm-hmm.
too high for me, but I just don't want to draft any Houston Texan this year. Like none. I don't care who it is. I mean, they even brought in who was it? Philip Lindsay, Mark Ingram, David Johnson. It's
Mm-hmm.
a terrible offense, and now you're gonna spread all the terrible carries. Am I being too harsh?
Nah. Shout out to Brooke One. He says, "I love these videos. Thank you, brother. Hope you liked and subscribe."
Oh,
But
appreciate you.
look, David Johnson is. Let's be honest. Yeah, there is a lot of people back there, but I think out of everyone there, David Johnson is gonna have the most significant role out of everyone. I'm not saying that I'm excited. I'm not saying
Really?
I'm not saying I'm gonna take him, but that's kind of where I'm going. Like who else
See,
really is either
this
is
is why you have to go running back heavy early though, because now you're in the 7th round and you're reaching for David Johnson. Like, I'm trying to look. Like, I don't know if these people are still on the board. Is Mostert gone? Is Drake gone? I'm taking them
yeah. So Drake's not
over David
gone.
Johnson.
Damian Harris is not gone. Um, I think there's a lot of upside with these handcuff guys. I see a lot of upside with Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
As a potential, Gus Edwards in Baltimore, just to have that handcuff. I think this is going to be a handcuff year where, like, there's so many people. It's not even a handcuff. It's like, I mean, Gus is a handcuff, but, like, I feel there's going to be opportunity there, not where we can start him every week, but just to have that
Ah,
security.
son of a bitch. You guys are really making it hard to draft upside 6 to 9 when all the players I like at upside are are being taken.
There you go, man.
Um, okay, so what can I do to pivot here? Um,
Yeah, it's really interesting. Three running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end. I mean,
so I'm going to pivot and go another wide receiver here, but the issue is there's none that I love. Maybe I can't do purely upside the strategy I want to do if I'm at the 12. I don't think I can do purely upside based strategy 6 to 9 rounds
yeah,
if I'm in this position,
it's hard.
unfortunately.
I mean, you still don't have a quarterback, but I'm assuming you're gonna go with
I don't
a
have a
later
quarterback,
rounder.
but I'll explain why I haven't taken a quarterback just yet.
Yeah.
I wanted T. Higgins here. He didn't fall, so I'm gonna have to kind of reach in my rankings for Cortland Sutton. I'm not excited about it. I'm
Man.
not excited about Sutton personally. Like, I know other people are. I am
Hmm.
not one of those people.
I am.
Um, you are one of those people, so maybe we could do a trade afterwards. But
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, I'm just not excited for Cortland Sutton, so I don't love picking him there. So now is where I'm gonna have to reach again at the turn. You have to reach because unfortunately you can't like play and then there's literally like 24 picks from the time I take this pick, so I can't take the people I want to when I want to take them. I have to reach. So
Right.
again, I said I'm going purely upside round 6 to 9. I'm drafting Michael Carter.
Yeah.
I think he's got a great opportunity to get a good amount of touches pretty early in his career. Tevin Coleman isn't the answer. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. And Paul in the chat here says, Zach, you're an undercover Falcons fan because you got Julio Pitts
That's
and
funny.
Mike Davis.
I actually noticed that. It's actually I have 2 Chargers and I have 3 Falcons.
This is not the way you want to draft.
It's not, but the reality is I normally trade at least 2 or 3 players before the season even starts.
Yeah,
So
100%.
I'm not worried about drafting too many people on the same team because I will be looking at trading people right after the draft ends. If I can package Davis, excuse me, geez, with someone who's high on Pitts and grab a lower tight end and get a better running back, I'll do that. So I think in the draft, I'm just going purely based off of my rankings. But it is funny that it's panned out that way.
Yeah. I guess
So Melvin falls to the 4th.
yeah, falls to the 8th, you mean? Melvin Gordon?
Mm-hmm.
You say he falls to the 4th. Anyways,
I meant the 8th.
yeah, Damian Harris went, Melvin Gordon, and OBJ.
Let's talk about the Devonta Smith and OBJ picks there.
Yeah,
What do you think?
and look, there's a lot of other players that I would take over OB. I think this is good value for OBJ.
It is.
If we look at who's on the board, I think I would have taken Tyler Boyd over OBJ.
Yeah.
in that scenario. But I do like OBJ there. And Damian Harris, I think it's a good late round value for a running back later on in the year. I like him. I like Damian Harris. He's a good flex start or, a base matchup start guy going into this year. So
The thing with OBJ, yeah, that's good value there, but there's not much upside. But you kind of countered that with the Devontae Smith upside, so there could be upside in those two picks. Let's talk about Chuck EB, which is Team Eight's last two picks, Zach Moss and Devin Singletary.
he's getting the handcuff. I'm
Yeah,
saying
but who's the handcuff and who's the start? Like, could you start either of these guys on any week? I don't know.
no,
Who you could
I
start.
think no, you can't start because Josh Allen is a real running back there. But
Yeah.
in my opinion, if you had to start one, it has to be Zach Moss.
Mm,
He
yeah.
he's not the fastest guy. He is the bigger back, but I think he gets the more goal line opportunities. He can also catch the ball. Same thing with Devin Singletary. I think it's Zach Moss in my opinion. I'm not excited about getting those guys, but that is a strategy that if I'm getting Zach Moss, I want Devin Singletary on my team. I need to have
Yeah.
him on my team, my just in case. Same thing if, I'm not going to say this guy's name because he could potentially follow me right
Yeah.
now. So,
Oh, no spoilers.
but
Um, so everyone who's watching, there's 9 people watching. Thank you so much for watching the live stream. You can actually support the show by just clicking a like and subscribing if you'd like to. That would mean a lot. Let's keep talking about this. Ryan Tannehill goes in the 8th round.
oh, Tommy, he went with two tight ends. I want to know a fan. I was hoping he was falling to me. Oh man, okay. And
How
Kenyon,
about Paulie D though? Like getting like the David Johnson pick doesn't look as bad now because you got Kenyon Drake. So he's got Kamara, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, David Johnson, Kenyon Drake. That's a pretty solid like running back room. Um, I don't hate the David Johnson pick as much now. He's got Lamb, Evans, Deontay. So he's actually put together a pretty good squad. Like he's low key kind of as it stands now got the best team in my opinion. Obviously doesn't have a quarterback, so that is the one weak spot. But let's see what you're gonna do. Marquise Brown. I keep seeing Brown going way higher than I have him in my rankings.
where do you have him in your rankings?
It's gonna be really disrespectful to say, but let me look.
He's super disrespectful. Okay, I'm gonna go tight end here, and I'm gonna go Mike Gesicki. I like his value here. There's Logan Thomas and Robert Tonyan. I mean, without a doubt, I'll probably take Robert Tonyan with. You see, this is hard now, man. Logan Thomas is good value. Ryan Fitzpatrick, if he does start, yes, there's value. Like there's upside.
Well, you got 10 seconds to decide here.
Mike Gesicki for sure is my first pick.
Okay.
Because I was really hoping those two guys go. So my thought process, just so you guys know, I was going to take Noah Fant and Kenyon Drake to get my tight end and get my handcuff for Josh Jacobs, essentially.
Yeah. Didn't work out for you.
It did not work out for me. So now I have to look down, and Zach is right. It's all about upside here. I have three running backs, 3 wide receivers. I'm going to try to get another running back.
And we said this, the running backs after round 8, even round 8, but like the running backs after round 8 are just like trash.
Yeah.
There's only one running back I see that I want to draft for the rest of the entire draft.
Yeah, and I'm probably going to take him right now, and that's Trey Sermon.
Yeah.
That's the guy that
So like
I
from
would
this
take.
point onwards, there's not a running back I see that I'm like, I want that running back on my team. Not at all. It gets real bare real quick.
Yeah, it does get real bare real quick. Man, I'm happy with my team. Russ, CMC, Najee, Woods, Kenny G, Mike, Gesicki, Josh Jacobs, Jamar Chase, and Trey Sermons.
Let's talk about the Marquise Brown pick though.
Okay, yeah. So where do you have him ranked? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I have Hollywood Brown as, and this is very disrespectful, and I'm sorry, but I have him as my wide receiver 55.
I have him wide receiver 46 currently. So
Oof.
I do see upside with Marquise. Yes, Rashad Bateman's there, and I'll tell you why I see it. I'm not saying I'm excited to get him, but I do see the late round value. I think this is where I will kind of take him. Maybe 2 rounds later potentially, but
I can't get forward with Marquise Brown that high. I just can't. He's not shown that he can be a fantasy asset that you can rely on. He's
Yeah,
never shown that.
I mean, and you're right. Like
And he's not even the best wide receiver on his team.
and I
And he
see,
just he just went ahead of Rashad Bateman. I don't know.
yeah, and he went ahead of Michael Pittman and Debo Samuel, which I would have taken all those guys over. So I see value in Marquise. What type of value? I don't know, but Rashad Bateman is the X receiver. That means defenses are gonna move their eyes to Rashad, in my opinion.
I
And
don't know, man.
obviously, you have Lamar, you have Josh Jacobs. Are they going to really like hone in on their defense in the run game? Like everyone has to strategize differently for the Baltimore Ravens now, in my opinion. Sam Darnold just went.
Hard, man.
Tommy, what's happening, brother?
What is going on, Tommy?
It's a different day for you, and it's okay. Sometimes
Tommy, this is
this is a surprising draft from Tommy. He took two tight
oh
ends,
no.
two quarterbacks. I
Tommy,
mean,
we love you. But from rounds 5 to 9, I question every pick. Like, you could have gotten Deontay Johnson, Jerry Jeudy, Javonte Williams at your 6th pick.
mm.
You could have gotten Mike Evans, Kenny Galladay at your 5th pick. And you still got Fant late. What is Darnold doing there in the 9th round?
He's outside. It's okay. It
I don't
happens, bro.
know, but it's okay. It's all right.
Look, I'm actually really excited about these wide receivers in the late rounds.
Yeah, same.
Like, there's a lot of good opportunity here for some of these guys.
Yeah.
Like, oh goodness.
But okay. AJ Dillon just went in the 9th. It's pretty high for a handcuff. But like we said, there's not any running backs that we want to draft anymore. Like looking at all the running backs, I promise you I'm not going to draft a running back for the rest of the draft. Because there's no running back I like. There's none that I see with like, oh, there's upside. Damn it, I shouldn't have said Rashad Bateman's name. He goes off the board.
Yeah, look, and you're right.
We're getting stream sniped here.
Yeah, we're getting stream sniped. The only other value that I see in a running back potentially is actually none. Maybe Kenneth Gainwell if the rumors are true about Miles Sanders. Sorry. Other than that, you're right. I'm not excited about anyone. Everyone from now on is a handcuff play.
Yeah. There's no. Oh, how is Tyler Boyd still on the board?
Mm-hmm.
See, this is what sucks, bro.
So now,
Like
yeah,
the 12 is so hard. Oh, that sucks. Okay, let's reassess. Let's have a look at the rankings.
yeah. Have a look at the rankings. Rashad Bateman at 9-7, Antonio Brown, Jalen Waddle, Tyler Boyd, and J.D. McKissick. Bateman. I mean, huge.
I really wanted Bateman there.
That's huge there for Trey Burr. Man. Jalen
Yeah, I
Waddle goes as well.
really wanted Bateman there, and unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get him.
Yeah, this is a little bit difficult in my opinion for you. You still don't have
There's 2 players I have in mind. I'm not going quarterback because there's only one team that doesn't have a quarterback other than me. So there's no reason for me to reach on a quarterback here because I'm not in love with any of them. I think all of them. There's one in particular I like, but I think all of them could potentially be like sleeper quarterbacks. So I'm definitely going quarterback late here.
So you have 5 seconds here. Oh boy.
Oh shoot. Okay, where's my guy? Where's my guy? Where's my guy? Where's my guy?
Anybody get auto picked and time is up. Rondell Moore. There you go.
Finally.
You got him.
So here I'm going with a wide receiver stack of rookies, and I'm getting the Moore brothers right back to back.
I was hoping
Rondell and Elijah. Again, like I said, this is a time of the draft I like going purely upside. I could have drafted a guy like Will Fuller. What is his role going to be?
Mm-hmm.
I could have drafted a guy like Corey Davis. Is he going to be the wide receiver ahead of Elijah? I don't think so.
Right.
I could have drafted a guy like Devontae Parker. Am I excited about Parker with Tua there? No, I'm not. I could have drafted Brandon Cooks. What's Cooks' upside when his wide quarterback, is probably going to be who's the quarterback going to be? I mean, Davis Mills might start halfway through the year, but why is my mind blanking? quarterback there in Texas.
Davis
Yeah, for the
Mills,
Texans.
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
They just
So
picked up somebody too. I forgot who it was. It was a
I
tweet.
think Laviska Shenault is the only person I probably missed out on, that I would have considered taking there instead of like a high upside rookie. So
Yeah.
still a ton of quarterbacks on the board I'm okay to start with. So
Yeah, let's talk about that. Okay, I think we should talk about that because this is the time. This is a strat that someone is going to do in their draft.
yeah,
Okay, so Tom Brady, Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan. I mean, those are the guys that I would choose out of. I'm assuming, if you didn't
yeah,
have all these
there,
Falcons players, maybe Matt Ryan is a guy, or unless you go Tom Brady.
yeah.
I'm happy with Tom
So
Brady in
that's what
PPR.
I was gonna say. There's literally four. Well, now there's three quarterbacks on the board that I'm okay to start. So I don't think anyone should be taking two quarterbacks at this point. Um, the visionary just took Brady. I don't see a reason to ever draft two quarterbacks personally. Like I'm not a guy who's gonna ever end a draft with more than one quarterback. Like I'm always looking for other upside players because there's so many starting quarterbacks. Like what if you missed out on drafting like Corey Davis there and Corey Davis ends up being a top 20 wide receiver? I don't know. Like I'm never gonna draft two quarterbacks in a PPR draft, but
Yeah, makes
that's
sense.
just me.
It makes sense. Like I
We
kind of
got 11 people watching the live stream right now. If you could drop a like, super easy way to support the show and subscribe would mean a lot. But go ahead, I cut you off there.
No, I think I understand why people would take two quarterbacks. It's a redraft. It's redraft. What happens with the bye week? I think the strategy that Zach is talking about is you can always get a quarterback in the bye week. Sorry,
Every week,
on the waiver
every
wires
week
every
you
week.
can get a quarterback to start
Correct.
by streaming them.
So, we like the idea of streaming quarterbacks. Same thing with kickers and defenses. If you guys
Let
play kickers and
me let me
defense,
explain. Right, I'll tell you all the quarterbacks that I'd be okay to stream. Not my starting quarterback, but these quarterbacks I'd be okay to stream. Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Baker Mayfield, Carson Wentz. Um, Justin Fields if he starts, Jameis Winston. Like these are all quarterbacks that like I could easily stream. So I don't see a reason to like waste. Like remember this. So like Tom Brady's a great example, the visionary. Um, at that 10 spot, that's around where Justin Jefferson was going last year. I'm not saying you're going to draft Justin Jefferson every time, but you're drafting a quarterback too, where you could be getting a high upside player this year. So that's just my strategy. That's the way I look at it. There's still a tight end on the board that I would rather have than taking a second quarterback.
yeah, that's what I was looking
So,
at. Tight end. I think I'm gonna go Darnell Mooney here, and then which is not really exciting.
but there's upside there.
Yeah, there's definitely upside. And the other tight end I'm thinking of, I thought of a tight end as well. For me, is Evan Ingram, Jonnu Smith. There's no wide receivers I'm happy with. Or you took I was hoping Elijah Moore was gonna fall to me. Um, I think I might just
While you
have to.
make that pick, Brooks Ones is commenting. He said, "Of course, I liked and subbed. Appreciate that. If everyone watching could drop a like and subscribe, that would mean a lot. But
I'm gonna
appreciate the
go.
support, guys. It means a lot.
I'm gonna
And
go Jonnu Smith here.
just quickly, while Badaki's making that pick, you can make the pick. But we actually just released a video on YouTube. Excuse me, geez.
Never mind. I'm going Evan Ingram.
Talking about late round quarterbacks. So we just released a video on our page. You can check it out after the live stream. Late round quarterbacks that you could draft, sleepers. So check that out if you're interested. All right, you went Ingram and then Davis went off the board.
Yeah. So I'll give you the reasoning of why I took Darnell Mooney. I see upside there. We saw. I think we can both say that we believe Justin Fields is going to start somewhere mid-season, and I think that game plan is going to change for Allen Robinson. Not that Allen Robinson is going to, lose significant touches, but I think Justin Fields is good going through the progressions and doing those things where Darnell Mooney can be a sleeper at times. And Evan Ingram, I have him one spot higher than Jonnu Smith in my rankings, so I went according to my rankings. As much as I hate the guy because he keeps dropping every pass, there's still
That's what I
upside there.
hate him with all my guts. I had to draft him.
Yeah, still had to draft him.
Daryl Henderson went in the 10th. See, there's just, bro, there's no quarterbacks that I'm like really excited about, or no running backs I'm excited about
No,
after the 8th round. It's just,
unless you go handcuff. You know,
it's only handcuffs, but like
you're wasting a
I
spot on
only
handcuff.
draft a handcuff if I have that running back. Like I don't understand drafting Alexander Madison and then just waiting for Dalvin Cook to miss a game or two. Like that doesn't make sense to me because like how much value are you really getting in that pick?
Right.
So, damn it, the freaking auto draft just took my quarterback I wanted and got two quarterbacks. Oh my god, that's annoying.
Just GG's in the chat, honestly.
Honestly, it's just a fat GG. Shout out to auto draft for ruining my strategy.
It could be a Falcons team for
It
Zach here.
actually could be. It could be. There's one other guy I'm okay with.
That's funny. Yeah.
But McCole Hardman, Henry Ruggs, Amon. This
Oh,
is where
Amon
Amon-Ra St. Brown
Ra.
just went. So that's real good value
I
there
could have
at
got
the
Amon Ra
11th.
there for
Yeah.
instead of Darnell Mooney. Yeah, see, that's good.
Yeah, that's
the
good
visionary.
value.
That's the third eye there, visionary. I see you, brother.
The third eye. I mean, yeah, I don't hate his team. I don't like the two quarterback strat. I don't understand getting two quarterbacks. That's just me. Like the only reason I'm getting two quarterbacks is if I don't believe in one and other has massive upside. Personally, so
Man, Amon Ra. I should have had that. I would have been really happy with my team if I got Amon Ra there. Completely forgot about him.
yeah, it happens, bro. It happens.
It happens, bro. It really does. Sometimes you
Yeah,
just
look.
panic.
I'm not gonna lie. I really wanted Stafford to fall, and I really think he would have. Like, if auto draft wasn't there, I think Stafford would have fallen to me. So that's the quarterback I was planning on taking late here.
The visionary said the third eye took Brady because I know there wouldn't be any for Zach at the turn, so he did it
That's
on
funny.
purpose. You got to know
That's
your
funny.
league.
But no. Well, that's the thing. Like, if you do that, that's great because you ruined someone's draft, like quote unquote. But also, you missed out on an upside pick. So let's look at all the players you missed out on. You missed out, I think, Darnell Mooney, Irv Smith, Jalen Rager, Amon-Ra St. Brown. So
Well,
you kind of have to.
So he's chilling.
Oh well, he did get Amon-Ra, yeah. So you kind of have to in your mind play games and see if it's worth it based off of the game you're trying to play. So
all good, brother, all good.
But it looks like it is about to be Matt Ryan. Okay, so Matt Ryan is my quarterback.
It's the Falcons.
That's hilarious.
The line of Falcons here, taken at the 12th pick.
And I'm going to go ahead and draft someone that I've seen drafted way higher. And there could be some upside there. And the only reason I'm drafting this person is purely for trade's sake.
Okay.
I feel like this could be trade value later on. That's Tyler Higbee with Matthew Stafford. I feel like there's potential with my last pick to get some sort of trade value there. This is one of my least favorite drafts I've done. But
this is why we draft.
This is why we draft. I really wanted to get Stafford. But the reality is by the end, if this was actually my team, I would go in looking to trade not Julio. I would keep Julio. I would be looking to trade Mike Davis, and potentially Kyle Pitts. So
yeah, I'm just thinking, who do I have on my team? Russ, Chase.
Someone in the chat called me an Atlanta homer. It's funny because I didn't purposely draft any of those people or think about it that way, but I would definitely need to get in the trade market real quick. But hey, don't sleep on the Falcons this year. Yeah, I'm telling you, don't sleep on the Falcons this year. They're a much better team than people think they are.
Julio could
the defense is terrible,
Julio could be gone, man. Deuce and a bubble goose for Julio.
Actually, wouldn't surprise me if they somehow made the playoffs. Like if the Falcons made the playoffs, would that surprise you at all?
It would. I think
it would surprise you.
It would surprise me. I mean, they have the talent in the offense. If we're just going based on offense, not surprised. Defense, it's really interesting how they make the playoffs with that defense. It was their weakest point, on their team, and they didn't address it at all. Barely.
Hold Hold it down.
Carson Wentz goes as my late QB sleeper for Trey Burr. Hopefully he watched the YouTube video we just released. Carson Wentz, I see a lot of upside there. I think it's a great pick. You
Yeah.
do have two quarterbacks, which Zach is right. I mean, Matt Ryan at 11-12. That's crazy though. Like, imagine if Matt Ryan actually fell. That
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I actually got Matt Ryan this late, I'm not upset about it.
Where did Matt Ryan finish last year? I don't even think he finished in a terrible spot last year, did he?
I don't think I think he finished like quarterback 15 or something. It wasn't crazy, but
Let me just double check, because man, that is crazy.
Philip Lindsay went off the board. See, again, it's just like, nah, what
Yeah.
value's there? I don't know.
He was
I don't know what
he was
value's there.
quarterback 12, and you just took him in a mock draft at the 11th round, last pick of the 11th round, which is crazy. Obviously, the year before that, I just want to double check. Matt Ryan finished quarterback 11. So Trey Burke, I'm an Eagles fan.
Well,
And I
took him as the quarterback 15. So
yeah. Okay, so my last guy here with the upside that I see, the quote-unquote Mr. Irrelevant in drafts, I'm going to take Cole Beasley. My last pick here. He's with Josh Allen. You know, we saw some glimpses of him doing something special there, so I don't mind taking Cole Beasley there.
I'm saying, like, that makes more sense to me than like Tariq Cohen. I don't know. So, all right, draft's over. Let's quickly talk about it.
Yeah.
Someone commented in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do y'all think of pick 10 strat? Now it's over. So let's look at team 10. The only person to do a wide receiver heavy strat: Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Calvin Ridley. That's beautiful. And you got Josh Allen. That's beautiful. But my God, your running backs are really weak.
Yeah.
Really weak. James Conner, Chase Edmonds, I don't know that I want to start either of them, but they are your running back 1 and 2. I don't know. Like, Damian Harris, could he be a startable asset? Potentially, it wouldn't surprise me. But then you got Gainwell, and PPR. Gainwell is not going to be valuable this year. I don't believe he will be valuable this year. So you have 3 running backs that you could potentially start each week. 2 of them are on the same team. None of them are the workhorse running back.
Right.
It's hard. It's hard, man.
Look, that's a team that I would target for one of his tops. You know, I can say, all right, man, I can give you Josh Jacobs so you can have a solidified starter, and I'll take Chase Edmonds and James Conner as the 2, but I will want more. For example, I can do Russ and Josh Jacobs for Josh Allen, for James Conner, Chase Edmonds. That's an offer or a trade I will send that guy, because I upgraded my quarterback. Do I really lose value in Josh Jacobs massively? I don't think so, because I do get the handcuff in James Conner or Chase Edmonds, whoever is the running back there. So maybe that's something that I'll do, or I don't know. Maybe I'll give you a Trey. Hey, you want Trey Sermon? But then again, I'd rather have Trey Sermon than James Conner and Chase Edmonds. So
yeah, and that's crazy, but it's true. So this is the reason why we mock. This is why we try certain strategies. I would feel extremely not confident walking into my week 1 with those running backs. So I still believe you have to go running back early. Let's look at it. A couple other teams that went running back early. How about team 2? Jesus Light, Dalvin Cook, DeAndre Swift, and Chris Carson.
He went 3. He did the same strat I did, essentially, with 3 running backs off the board. He has great value in all 3 running backs. You know, and then
I feel like he could have drafted better at the wide receiver position.
Yes, I believe so as well. But there is upside there in Jerry Jeudy, Michael Pittman. I think there's upside in Corey Davis. And Marquise Hollywood.
Let me ask you this though, like DJ Moore.
Mm-hmm.
He could have drafted Kenny Golladay, Mike Evans, or Ayuk. Like, I would probably draft those people over DJ Moore. I'm not in this like space where a lot of people are with like this is actually the year DJ Moore is going to break out. Like no, I don't think so. Like he's a good wide receiver, but maybe we just need to face that he's never going to be a top 10 wide receiver.
Yeah, where are you ranking him now? Because I see DJ. I have DJ Moore as my 22, and I have him above a lot of guys that I'm like, maybe I should actually reevaluate here. Let
Yeah,
me
he's my wide receiver 21.
Okay, so let me tell you who I have him above, and then tell me if you're okay with taking DJ Moore over these guys: Adam Thielen, Tyler Lockett, Brandon Ayuk. Those are the three guys I have him right above.
I'm okay taking him over Lockett because I think he's more consistent.
Okay.
Um, I would take Thielen over DJ Moore personally.
Right. So I think I'm
But
at
Thielen went so high in this draft.
yeah, I think I'm at the point where I would take all three of those guys above DJ Moore. And I still have DJ Moore ranked higher, but
Yeah.
I think you think of the quarterback play. I mean, Tyler Lockett is with a better quarterback. Adam Thielen is on a run heavy offense, and he's kind of faded out to be the number two in that offense now with
Well,
Justin Jefferson there kind of.
let me ask you this because this is an interesting conversation. DJ Moore went in the 4th round. Robbie Anderson went in the 8th. What sort of guarantees are there that DJ Moore is going to finish above Robbie Anderson? I don't think there is any guarantees that that happens. Like it could, but it wouldn't surprise me if Robbie finishes above DJ Moore. Maybe we should be targeting Robbie Anderson in the 8th rather than DJ Moore in the 4th or 5th. Maybe
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
I can tell you. So DJ Moore finished. Gosh, it could be that far down. DJ Moore finished wide receiver 25, and Robbie Anderson finished wide receiver 19 last year.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had DJ Moore, and I was part of that struggle where I was like, "What's happening? Why? What's going on?" And I was upset to see. I took DJ Moore with a lot of upside because we had a thought process with Teddy. He was a good game manager,
Yeah.
this and that, and he just fell off. So you could be right. I mean, Robbie, where's Robbie ranked for you then?
Well, Robbie's, I think, let me double check.
Robbie for me is wide receiver 31 right now.
Robbie's my 34, my wide receiver 34.
Okay.
So I guess my point is more based off of where they're going ADP wise. I'm targeting Robbie later rather than targeting DJ that high. I don't think DJ's worth that high of a draft pick personally.
Okay.
But I like the team he's put together. I just think he could like if that team had Kenny Golladay and Mike Evans instead of DJ Moore and even just one of those. If it was like Kenny Golladay, because I feel more confident as Kenny Golladay if I had to choose a wide receiver one than DJ Moore. So
right.
it's a good team though.
It's
Yeah.
No, I'm just looking. It's just hard. Like if you have two running backs, if you have 2 to 3 running backs, I feel like your team is weak. Like you don't have that just in case.
Unless they're solid running backs, like I think that's team number two's strength because Javonte's got massive upside. He's got 4 really good running backs.
Yeah.
We got 11 people watching. If you have any questions, let us know. We're just breaking down this mock draft we just did with our community. If you want to be a part of these mock drafts in the future, there's a link in the description, solo.to/fantasylandfootball. Just join our Discord. And if you are watching and you haven't liked the video yet, just drop a like. That would mean a lot. This just allows us to find more people who love doing what we do. Let's talk about Tommy's team, the 1.4.
Sorry.
Okay.
I just messed up the thing here. I'm trying to fix it.
That's okay. Tommy's team at the 1.4. We love Tommy. Tommy's always supporting the brand in different ways, commenting and being a part of things. Tommy, I love your first 4 picks. I think you got great value in the first 4. Tommy only drafted 2 running backs. Yikes. Tommy, I just from round 5 onwards, I'm really struggling to see. But Aki, if you actually click on the people's name, it'll highlight that team.
Wow!
Just so
I didn't
people know exactly what team we're talking about.
Oh man, that's awesome. Look, I did see Tommy in the comments saying that he was doing 2 things at once and he was with family and stuff. So it could have been maybe he saw somebody and he just automatically auto not. I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't auto draft though. That's the thing. I think the
No,
last
he
like two
didn't.
picks he auto draft, but he took Devontae Adams at the 1-4. J.K. like it's interesting. Maybe he was trying a strat that we don't know. So
This I love you, Tommy, but this is probably my least favorite draft. It's probably the worst this time, and that's probably because you weren't fully in it. That's okay. I mean, if Adams, if Rodgers comes back, I don't hate the Adams pick, but you're drafting him at his upside there, at his ceiling actually. Excuse me. Dobbins is great, but your two starting running backs are Dobbins and Jones. You got no bench running backs. You got no flex running backs to start. It's it's a hard team to go into week one with. I don't love Jones in the fifth. I think Hunter Henry in the sixth is too high. Then somehow you took Darnold. That wasn't an auto pick, so I don't know what happened there.
the
In the
fact that
ninth round, Darnold should have been undrafted, honestly. So
yeah, the fact that he did get Hunter Noah Fant in the eighth is crazy. Like
yeah,
he
Noah Fant at the eighth is great, but why'd you draft Hunter Henry? Um, this has got to be a C minus for me. I'm sorry, Tommy, but this is pretty bad. But this is why we mock.
this is why
You've
we
had great
mock.
mocks in the past. Let's look at Pauly D's team though. This is probably my favorite team, Badaki.
I'm a Kamar, Clyde, Kittle, Lamb, Evans, Deontay. I'm not a huge fan of Deontay or Mike Evans. Um, honestly, I love CeeDee Lamb, Kenny and Drake. He sniped me. David Johnson. I do see potential upside. Am I starting him every week? Well, am I starting him at all? No, I'm definitely starting Kenny and Drake over there. Darrell Henderson.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think Pauly won the draft personally.
Yeah.
You've got a great wide receiver core, and you didn't start drafting until the fourth round. CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Deontay, and Debo. And Reynolds is kind of like a low key guy who could show up this year.
Yeah.
But then your running backs are real strong. Kamara, I probably wouldn't have taken Clyde there. I would have taken Najee.
Okay.
That would have made your team even stronger. But
I feel like you're going.
getting Kittle, like he's got Kittle as well. That's just an X factor every week. So
Yeah. Are you getting high on Najee now?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I've been not high on Najee. I had him ranked higher than you, and then when we first came out with our rankings.
yeah. When you first, and then I just kind of updated them because I keep thinking and literally talking to myself, having conversations, and Najee is in the top 8 now. The fact that I got him running back was at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
That's
7,
still too
8,
high for
9.
me, but I get it.
You
Like he's not in my top eight. No.
but if he's not in your top, okay, he's not in your top. So you will be taking Joe Mixon over him, Cam Akers, J.K. Dobbins,
No.
Antonio Gibson, DeAndre
I
Swift.
think that's where the conversation starts. Is Joe Mixon? Joe Mixon is my running back 12. So around Joe Mixon, Swift, and Aaron Jones is where my conversation starts with Najee Harris.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
we got 9 people watching. I don't know if it's people who drafted with us or just people watching. Regardless, thanks for hanging. If you have any questions, throw it out there. We're gonna end the draft relatively, or this live stream relatively soon. Any last things you want to talk about, Badaki?
No, I mean, I think it's interesting. I think I love the strat that I did. I did the 3 running backs off the bat,
Yeah.
wide receiver, quarterback, and I still got value in a late round running back in the ninth with Trey Sermon. I really
Yeah.
like my draft.
Do you do you get excited drafting Russell Wilson though? Like I owned him last year, and I'll tell you, the second half of the year wasn't exciting to start him at all.
Yeah, the second half wasn't. I think a lot of people don't think that. A lot of people still think that Russ could be gone. I don't think so. I think he's gonna stay. I think they're
No, no,
gonna.
he'll be there.
I think they're gonna accommodate for him. You know,
All right, we got sorry,
man.
sorry to interrupt. We got a bunch of people who are like, "Hey, talk about my team." Okay, let's do that.
All
All right,
right, the
visionary.
visionary, the visionary.
So Zeke, Mixon, Hunt, Gordon, Hawkins. Good running back room. Your wide receiver room is Jefferson, Higgins, Waddle, St. Brown. Love the Jefferson pick. Love the Higgins pick all the way in the seventh. Obviously, there's question marks with the depth of your wide receiver group, but you got Lamar Jackson as your starting quarterback, T.J. Hawkinson as your starting tight end. It's a good team. I would overall probably give this team A minus. The only reason A minus, again, the Tom Brady pick. you could have had a guy like Logan Thomas, Irv Smith, Evan Ingram, Tanyan. Like I think there's more value in a tight end that could be a top 5 guy than there is in a quarterback who could finish top 10. Like
So
let's say Logan Thomas is a top 5 tight end by the mid-year. You have so much more trade value than Tom Brady, who's like quarterback 12. You know what I mean?
I still think that, you know, I think the visionary team is good, and if maybe he feels that way with Tom Brady, because we came in last year, it was like, well, Tom Brady is gonna go to the Bucks, and no one's taking him in fantasy, and he finished relatively decent in fantasy last year. I don't remember where he was at.
Yeah, no, he finished good, but I'm still saying like the only reason you're taking, for me, in my opinion, a second cornerback or tight end is for trade value that late. That's how I just view it. So
Yeah, I
strategically think about what players break out. Like Tom Brady's not gonna break out. He's just Tom Brady. He's good,
yeah.
but he's never gonna finish as like a top 4 quarterback in fantasy anymore.
Yeah, and the last two picks, I don't know if you guys can see on stream, on the YouTube, there is St. Brown on the Lions and Javion Hawkins, who is the backup for Mike Davis. Tremendous value there. He has a handcuff of Mike Davis, which is technically on Zach's team. If he does go down, he does have another running back. And St. Brown, we do believe there's value there. The two guys that he has on the Lions that I believe there's value in receivers, St. Brown and TJ Hawkinson. Obviously, DeAndre Swift in the backfield there. But I do like his team. I give him an A. I think it's a really good
I
team.
would I would give it an A plus if the Tom Brady pick was any other tight end that went off the board because like I said, trade upside. Okay, Luke Berry said let's talk about the 105. So let's talk about the 105, Badaki. Go ahead.
Well, let's go over Trey because we didn't go over Trey. He was first.
No, but Trey is second. We're gonna go over Trey, but Luke asked first.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
True. My bad.
come on, bro. Quick math.
My bad, Luke. My bad, bro. Derrick Henry, Antonio Gibson, AJ Brown, Amari Cooper, James Robinson, Tyler Lockett. Your
Nice
first.
draft.
Yeah, this is decent. This low key value here. Curtis Samuel, low key value. AJ Dillon, low key value. All these guys from pick 7 and down all have value in some
Yeah.
sort of way. Are we excited and we're like jumping out of our seats for this? Not necessarily. At least for me, not necessarily. James
Let's quickly
Robinson.
talk about Gibson though, because someone did comment in Burluke drafted Gibson. Where do you have him ranked? I have him as my RB11. Where do you currently have him ranked, Hidaki?
Antonio Gibson. Yeah, I have my RB11 as well.
Okay, so he went as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. He went as a RB14. He's our RB11, so good value there. We're excited about Gibson this year, especially in that explosive offense. I don't think McKissick's role is going to be as big as it was last year, and also with the arrival of Jarrett Patterson,
Mm-hmm.
undrafted free agent rookie. I think that the running back 3 or third down running back role is going to be a little different, which is good for Gibson. AJ Brown could finish as the wide receiver 1 in fantasy, and he got him in the 3rd round.
He could
Like
finish.
that wouldn't be crazy if that happened, would it?
Nah, it wouldn't be crazy. I'm scared of AJ Brown as much as I love him, and I had him last year. There's question marks. They didn't bring. They didn't, at least in my opinion, it doesn't feel like they brought in anyone to help him. They got rid of Corey Davis, John Smith. I feel like he's just gonna get double teamed all the time now. Where
Yeah.
he was double teamed last year, but they had to make sure Johnu and Corey Davis weren't doing anything either. So
Yeah.
I'm a bit worried. I need to see how camp goes and kind of understand their offense a
Let's
little bit more. But yeah,
let's give this a grade real quick. I think he got great depth at the running back position. If James Robinson still keeps his role, getting him in the 5th is crazy. Tyler Lockett and Curtis Samuel are great wide receiver 2-3s to have. Rager's got some upside. I like the draft. I'm giving it a B plus.
yeah, that's what I was
The
gonna
only
get.
thing that would change that is I'm not as high on Hurts uh, as other people, so that's the only thing that would propel it into the A category for me, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was gonna give it a B plus as well. I think it's a good overall team. Like I said, there's value there. there's obviously other people we would have had,
Yeah. All right.
over some people.
Let's talk about Trey's team to end the show here. Trey Burr, Chubb, Sanders, Etienne, and Hines as the running backs. Thielen, Ayuk, Claypool, Bateman, Ruggs. That is scary upside in the wide receiver core. You got Waller, one of the big three. Now, Ryan Tannehill is probably, Badaki, the only issue we have, I think, collectively from this draft. I don't want to speak for you, but I think we see Ryan Tannehill similarly. Is that right?
Are you just saying in our rankings or?
Yeah. So Tannehill's my quarterback 13. I have Brady, Hurts, Burrow, Stafford ahead of him in my ranking. So I probably would have not taken a quarterback there in the eighth and taken a different position like Kenyon Drake or, waited for a Stafford to come back, a Brady to come back, a Burrow to be there. So that's the only issue I personally have with the team. What about you?
Yeah, it makes sense now. I have Ryan Tannehill, quarterback 14 in my rankings. Yeah, Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrow. I have him. I had Joe Burrow, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan above Ryan Tannehill. So yeah, I do see that. Yeah, he could have got better value there, but other than that,
I like the team, dude.
yeah, I do like the team.
The only other thing I'm going to say is I'm not a guy who's taking Sanders that early. There's no way you're going to find me taking Sanders over Gibson, Dobbins, Swift, Najee Harris. I have Sanders as my RB 16, 17. So I'm not taking him over those guys. I don't know about
Wait,
you.
You have Miles Sanders RB what you said?
17.
Oh gosh, I have him RB 21.
See, that's way too high, dude. Come on, he's a starting quarterback or starting running back. So
You mean way too low?
yeah, for you that's too low, I
Uh,
think.
I,
But
I mean, I don't know. I would. There's people I would take over him. Like I think I would take Chris Carson, Monty, Josh Jacobs over him, Clyde Edwards over
yeah.
him, which is all the guys that. Well, like the guys that went after him are Josh Jacobs, Chris Carson. So
Well,
in
you know what
my
I would say
opinion,
there? Like, I would have much rather you have taken Kittle. Well, you still got Waller. Just like if you took Najee there or Dobbins or Gibson, like you're chilling. This would have been one of the best teams.
yeah,
I will say there's upside all over the place for Trey's team, so that is something I can appreciate. You got upside in Bateman, Etienne, Ayuk. Um, there is upside all over the board there. So
yeah.
yeah,
He says in his opinion he trusts the offense. Trey in the comments. I feel that he would get more carries.
could happen.
It could happen. It's for me. It's really hard to see what's going to happen there. They didn't bring much in talent on, as wide receivers. They brought in Devonta Smith. That's it.
Yeah.
Is that offensive line improving? They were the most sacked team in the NFL when Carson Wentz
No,
was one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL last year. Does that offensive line improve? Really, there's two runs that Miles Sanders went off on, and they were both for over 70 yards. One against Pittsburgh Steelers, and the other one I don't remember. That's all I can tell you about Miles Sanders.
yeah.
Like I was not excited about Miles Sanders. He let down a lot of people last
He
year.
he should have a better year. Definitely should have a better year.
Yeah,
I see more upside in Dobbins, Gibson, Swift, Harris. But it's a
yeah.
good team. Let's give it a draft grade quickly.
I give
I'm
it.
gonna give it a B plus again.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna give it a B as well. Yeah, there's good
Good
value.
draft.
There's good value everywhere. Maybe Henry Huggs is kind of my guy. That's like, Naeem Hines could potentially do something. With Jonathan Taylor, but you still have Marlon Mack there, and Rashad Bateman, huge value. So
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. We'll probably end the live stream here. If you haven't liked the video yet, drop a like. That would mean a lot. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you want to be a part of these mock drafts in the future, link in our description to join our Discord where we drop those links.
Yeah, huge love. Thank you. Subscribe, like the video. Subscribe, like the video. We'll see you on the next one.
Doses.